I just wanted to catch up since we were kind of strapped for time. Okay, well, I mean, so going through the demo, were we able to show like kind of what you were looking for? Macro. Yep. So we are not. That's the thing. So we are not a removal tool. So our focus is to block attacks before they even get to the point that you need removal. So what we were showing is how an attack would get in when a tool like Barkley is not in place. But if Barkley is in place, how we would block that at runtime so it never gets to that point. So to answer your question, we're not removing actual files. Like we're not going in and scanning or anything. Is that what you guys are looking for? Are you looking for more of like a removal tool or? Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's right in line with the whole lateral movement, and especially as these attacks are able to like polymorph and stuff, just making sure that we're blocking whenever they try to make that malicious call. I mean, haven't you already been hit by viruses? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, what the way we would position it is that AVG is focused on scanning of files and signatures. So anything that doesn't rely on a file or signature, they're going to miss, and that's where we come in. We're going to block any of the file or signature based attacks. We just don't slow down performance by scanning. We're doing more around file attribute and behavioral analysis to watch and then block. So what do you think? Well, because this is, you're ultimately going to be making a case. Is it to Chris, or would this, are you thinking ahead to the next conversation, the CIO, CTO? Right. So when it comes, right. So now it's so you use 600 for like a round number. Right. So I'm just trying to think, how would we have a couple different angles that we can use to show the value of Barkley. So I mean, we can do at the very least, we can put together like a proposal that shows the type of attacks that we're blocking, why they're the most prevalent, how we do it, how we compare, like that type of information. But what is going to be more valuable for Chris to see, you think? Because we can also we can actually we can test as well, like in the environment. Test, like we can deploy Barkley to some of your devices, be it desktops, workstations, servers, whatever, and run some tests and just see. Since we can very easily deploy alongside AVG and not combat with it, yeah, and then no impact. So we can do that and then run tests to show live what's getting by and how we block it. Is that the type of stuff that like Chris that'll kind of land more with Chris is actually seeing it? Well, so it's more like when we look at endpoint security as a whole, you kind of have the first step is protect or prevent, and then in the middle there's detection, and at the end there's response remediation. So we focus on the protection side. We do have, and this is like I don't want to sell something, the idea of something that isn't fully there yet, but we have instant response capabilities that'll provide the ability to like quarantine a specific file or device. So that is like on. Okay, now with that, let me talk with the team because until we can actually show that, would that be helpful to have a conversation with like you and Chris and our product team about what this is about to be? Right. So then, right. Yeah, and we want to help you with that and how to position that with Chris and the CIO, CTO person as well. So how was AVG positioned? It was positioned as an antivirus tool with the ability to clean up viruses. Okay. And would the way you position this be that it would complement AVG or that it would replace and address protection and then everything AVG isn't doing on protection, but then also have the ability to quarantine? Is that how it's going to get positioned? Any reason why it wouldn't? Yeah. What is the, if any, concern around position it as a replacement, the virus cleaning? Right. All right, I'm just writing this down. I want to make sure I get everything. database management. Okay. Right. So let me talk to the product team and see exactly what we can give you for like to put in writing for that ability, because that is like soon to be released. It's already in beta and everything. So let me figure out. Let me write this down. Now, would you you said you put something together on your end? Is it just notes, or you like have like a write up thingy? Okay, gotcha. So like ideally, are you looking for like when it comes to cleaning the viruses, like quarantining the file itself or more the device that gets infected? Okay. Right. Preaching to the choir. Yep. Yeah, because the way we can position it as stands, we stop from spreading, right? Well, we stop from spreading in the sense that we stop that same, vector from trying to launch any other attacks. We just stop it at runtime. But then position in the quarantine side, I think that'll make more sense for them, right? Okay. And is that pushback, is that from Chris, or is that more like the CIO actually does the? Just like that, huh? Yeah. Ah, gotcha. The autocorrect, yeah. No worries. So I need to figure out what wording to put for that. But what is your next? So have you spoken with Chris about the about Barkley, like what you've seen so far? Gotcha. So what's your plan on your end? Are you trying to have another conversation with him to provide more information at a certain point, or? Okay, so what I was saying yesterday, I couldn't get Kevin or Mike, just with their schedules on today's call. So I just wanted to hatch a plan with you for what we can give you to help have that conversation. I mean, ultimately, if you think it'd be helpful, we'd be more than happy to be like a resource, whether we do another demo for Chris or we're just on the line and any questions you ask, we can provide further information, stuff like that. I think that'd help. Yes, yeah. So just to be completely upfront with you, our pricing is based per endpoint or per server for the year. So just like standard list pricing, whatever, like the ultimate ceiling would be $30 per standard endpoint for the year and 60 per server for the year. Now, if we're doing a statewide rollout and you're at whatever amount of endpoints, that'll obviously adjust, but that's our starting point. Just one. There's just one agent per server. No, so our agent we deploy one on the server, and it depends on how you want to deploy them. No, we're trying to make it as straightforward as possible. The tool itself, and yeah, and how to get that. Nope, we just want to work with you guys. So for your conversations with Chris, are we still like is the plan? I think you said it was potentially April is when you'd be making a decision on a tool. I'm trying to work backwards from that. Okay. And what would you like to show them to get them interested? Do you think because I have a meeting in 5 minutes with our product team. I'm working on another proposal, so I can bring this up in that meeting. But that may be a pretty solid, piece of information to use our proposal, and whether we have the pricing stuff in there or not, it would show and detail out the value of Barkley and why you want to, evaluate it more. Yeah. Right, and that's why we're here. Let me see if there isn't something we can do. I don't know. I'd have to talk to Mike, but if we could send you something like that example that you could kind of run, that fake test or whatever, but do it on your machine. You know what I mean? I'm writing that down because you think that'd help just doing a quick live, in your environment type of test. Okay. No, I get you. All right, so I'll bring up that idea. Now, my ask would be if we can put together a proposal, will you be able to introduce Chris to us, whether it's just me or, I bring on someone else from my team? And our intention is to show that we want to support in this evaluation and that it's not just here's documentation and, come to us when you want to buy. We want to help you guys understand how this is going to fit. Yeah, Yep. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and that's something that's been brought up, and our team's working on that. It's just a little difficult to coordinate, but to your point, then you'd be able to log in and play around in an environment and see the tool in action. Yeah, so let me because we don't have that solidified, but I mean I'll check, see where we're at with that if there's any potential. Um, but let me, because I don't want to just send you over white papers and have Chris, try to parse through what's of value to him. Oh, okay. So it'd be more like, gotcha. Okay. And one thing I guess I didn't ask, but just because you guys are a school, are you able to work directly with solution providers like us, or do you have to go through a partner, any type of contracts? Oh, okay. Is there is there any way that we could potentially work on that, or when would be a good time? I would just want to get out ahead of that. Okay, yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be great. Just kind of one of those things. Get out in front of. Okay, cool. Well, gotcha. The terminology. Okay. All right. Well, I kind of understand that. Yeah. Tomato, tomato. Um, all right. So I'm realizing I got to jump here. So I'm gonna get you more white papers. When do you think you'd have an opportunity to talk with Chris, bring up the idea of introducing us to him? Those are the best kind. Right. And unfortunately, on paper, it looks like the current old idea is working fine. But I mean, it's not. We know it's not. We just have to be able to show that. Yep. That's pretty much it. All right. So let me figure out what I want to send over, documentation wise. And then, do you want to plan on the two of us catch up next week before, maybe like the same time next week before you speak with Chris, make sure that you feel comfortable with everything you have information wise? All right, cool. You know what I'll do? I'll just adjust this. Um, what do you call it, this invite for same time next week. But I'll send you over info and let me know if we can expand upon anything or need anything else from us. And then we'll catch up next week on Tuesday. Does that sound good? Oh yeah, no problem at all. I just wanted to make sure it was before you meet with Chris so that we can make sure you feel comfortable with everything that you have. Right. And so I'm talking about next week, and if you're going to talk to Chris at the latter part of next week, when would you want a quick catch up with us before then? Okay. We'll do Wednesday at noon your time work. Was that a yes? Sorry. Okay, cool. All right, I'll send that over now. Send you over some stuff. But again, let me know if we can send anything else. Otherwise, we'll jump on next Wednesday and game plan for the meeting with Chris. All right, perfect. Well, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. I think we're on the same page. Until next week. All right, we'll be in touch.